So there's an iconic restaurant in Colorado, Casa Bonita, and the South Park creators bought it, apparently ended up in a war for it, and I'm curious what this is about. I have no idea. I also know that they are... I've read some stuff saying that they're going to be paying like waiters and waitresses like $30 an hour so that they don't rely on tips. And from my knowledge, unless in the last year that the cost of living in Denver has just skyrocketed, $30 an hour in Colorado at a full-time job would be a livable wage. So, and a livable wage, it's more than just like a normal livable wage. It's a livable wage with you being able to purchase and own a home. So.
Looking for help was a sign of weakness, especially as a man. It's embarrassing to be vulnerable, and I understand this, and BetterHelp understands this too. That's why they've made this a
You don't sponsor me, BetterHelp.
Everything from the local Colorado group that was created to save Casa Bonita.
I don't know why people felt like Casa Bonita didn't need South Park. So, for people who aren't from Colorado, I'm going to explain this a little bit more for you. Casa Bonita is a place that you would go to not necessarily for the food. All right? It was a restaurant, but you didn't really go there for the food. You went there for the atmosphere. So they have like a big pool there, and it's all set up like you're somewhere in a tropical climate. And they've got a bunch of plants. Some are real, some are fake. A lot of them are fake, to make you feel like you're in that kind of a setting. And then they had this cliff, because there's a pool, but it's a restaurant, so like you're not there in a swimsuit. You don't get to swim in this pool. They have employees that's job, these employees' job was just to go up on this cliff that was built inside of the restaurant and dive into the pool. They were cliff divers. That was part of the restaurant. Okay, so you went to the restaurant because of the atmosphere. People would go there for birthdays and all kinds of stuff like this. Everybody in Denver and Colorado understand what it is, what Casa Bonita is, and they were going to go under because their food was not great. And so the creators of South Park, being from Colorado, stepped in and were going to buy it. And I don't know what their plan is for it, if they're keeping it the same or what. But that was the plan. Hey, Lauren, I'm good. How are you? All right, so let's see how these people go on about this.
That was created to save Casa Bonita. South Park clerk for help drive business.
And that goes, okay, I don't want you to get too excited to become part of the Casa Bonita.
We actually put in an offer first.
Actually filed an objection in court to stop the sale of the popular Colorado restaurant to Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
I want to see if he just come us out first.
So these guys are just concerned that Matt and Trey buying South Park is going to make Matt and Trey, who are the creators of South Park, buying Casa Bonita is somehow going to create a South Park joke because they bought it, rather than like them being the owners of South Park helping drive up business at Casa Bonita so that it's self-sufficient and able to remain there, because that's why they were able to step in and become partial owners and buy the company, was because of the fact that it was going under. Yep, I'm having a good day so far. Can't complain. It's not bad at all.
As part of the Mexican-themed entertainment restaurants chain founded by Bill Wild, was the fourth restaurant of the chain, which originally started in Oklahoma. The restaurant's theme is replicating that of a small Mexican village during a festival, essentially bringing Mexico to Colorado. It is considered an icon in Colorado.
So it looks like you're like in a tropical area in Mexico when you're at Casa Bonita, and it was somewhere you went legitimately for that kind of an atmosphere, while you got like mediocre food.
Loved by locals in Maryland, including the South Park creators, who have expressed their fondness of the restaurant and the memories they had there growing up. Casa Bonita is well known for its unique theme, being unlike any other restaurant, having a waterfall resembling that of the cliffs of Acapulco, with participants diving off into the pool below.
See?
Even having fire joggers perform there. Being a favourite of kids and families and known for a canteen menu of all-you-can-eat chicken and beef plates, Only the guests knew who the chef was. Oh, they're up. Why Casa Bonita?
See, exactly my point. So you went there for that kind of an atmosphere. Kids would like going there for their birthday because of the games and stuff, skeet, and, like the skeet ball and all that type of thing. And like the food though was not why you went. They honestly, what they needed was somebody to step in and bring the food up to a better level so that people were more interested in being there, because it reached a point where people were making jokes about Casa Bonita and not going to Casa Bonita because that was the level of food quality you were getting now, and nobody really wanted to put up with it anymore.
Was important to South Park. Casa Bonita was heavily featured in the South Park episode titled, get this, Casa Bonita, which aired in the 7th season in 2003. But this isn't the only time the restaurant has been mentioned in the show. Others include Quest for Ratings, You Have Zero Friends, 201, Let Go, Let Gov, and even the Fragile Butthole DLC, where you can actually explore the whole restaurant and get the shits from its hilariously bad food. Trey and Matt first brought up the idea of buying the restaurant as early as 2012. Parker told The Hollywood Reporter it came up for sale and we had 10 minutes of like, we should buy it.
We've actually been working on this a long time. Before I knew it was possible, the first conversation we had was going in and I goes, okay, I don't want you to get too excited. There's a chance we could become part of Casa Bonita, and I had to pull over.
This is due to the creators having expressed their love for the restaurant and how it was a dream to go there as a kid.
When you're a kid, boy, it seemed like the best. It seemed like the best place in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, like kids love it. They love it. Everybody who's paying for it understands that it's just not that great of a restaurant and questions why the hell we're going there. So that's why people have the running joke on it. That's why they have an episode on it. That's why it's in a game. That's why it has the reputation it has. It's why people talk about it and why they get business. So they have to, like, they needed to sell it. If that's the reputation you have, you're not going to maintain your business.
War of Casa Bonita. In March 2020, the Lakewood, Colorado location closed temporarily due to COVID-19.
Earlier this month, the restaurant
Yeah, it fucked up a lot of stuff.
filed for bankruptcy. Court documents show Casa Bonita faces $4.4 million in debt.
That's a lot of debt.
And the restaurant's website going offline, foreshadowing the worst for Casa Bonita. On April 6th, the owners, Summit Family Restaurants, filed for bankruptcy. It wasn't until a few months had passed that Trey and Matt would announce in late August that they had struck a deal to purchase the restaurant with a sale agreement of $3.1 million. But they weren't the only ones trying to buy the restaurant and had many competitors, including a group called Save Casa Bonita, run by this man.
I don't want to see it become a South Park joke or a South Park fun.
Oh my god, this dude is about to become a South Park joke. You look like this and you're trying to just come in and with an organization to save Casa Bonita, but like, do you understand business and do you understand food? Because if you don't understand those two things, you're going nowhere. You're going to buy something that's $15 million. Like, well, he just said, what, $11 million of taxes? Or not even just taxes, but $11 million of debt in general. So you're going to take on something that's hemorrhaging massive amounts of money.
Casa Bonita doesn't need South Park.
Who is the final boss for Matt and Trey as he admits to having been to Casa Bonita 300 times.
Crazy, I've been coming since 1974. It's a feast, it's a festival, it's a feastival. Got the fajita upgrade. I just had my 300th visit to Casa Bonita in 2019.
Let's say, why is he so proud about that? He's basically admitting he's had diarrhea 300 times. Does he also have a banner in his bathroom to celebrate each time with confetti? I mean, who counts how many times they've been to a restaurant anyway? Do you think Bruce Boulange is aware
For real.
McDonald's 9,042 times?
So I put together a group of restaurateurs, creatives, advocates, all to help try to save Casa Bonita.
Like, here's the thing, is why does he think Trey and Matt wouldn't be saving Casa Bonita if they bought it? And that it's just going to be a joke. Like, South Park talking about Casa Bonita, these guys buying Casa Bonita, and then having the potential from who they are and what South Park is to be capable of fixing Casa Bonita would do way more than an organization who supposedly cares about saving a restaurant. Really?
objection against Parker and Stone's sale agreement as they put an offer down first.
So really, it was the landlord's preferred buyer that got
Weird.
the sale, and so we find that that's highly objectionable.
Giving a higher sum of $3.5 million, resulting in it being a decision that would be decided in court on who would be the new owners of Casa Bonita. Objection to the sale was later withdrawn for the group Save Casa Bonita. Casa Bonita's current owner, Summit Family Restaurants Inc., submitted a reply asking the court to overrule Save Casa Bonita's objection and approve the sale to Parker and Stone, saying that $3.1 million is a fair price.
They coerced.
Like, here's the thing. The person who owns the company is the one selling the company. So it's up to him who he sells it to. This dude's just like, well, I offered more money, it should be mine. That's his shit right there? That's what he's doing. Oh, well, I deserve more money. I deserve it because I'm willing to pay more. That's not how shit works. There's an agreement to sell the property. And you're trying to come in and force out people that have an agreement. And it just, if you don't understand how this works, there's more than likely contracts that they're under going through a process of selling the property already. Now, selling something for millions of dollars is different than just a home, but they're probably already in a contracted phase of operation where they're already discussing terms and what they're going to do for the business and selling it. And this guy's just like, well, I'm going to pay more. You should get out of your contract. But you're already in a contract. You see what I'm saying? You've already agreed to enter a contract for a specific amount of money. So all of a sudden, this dude steps in and just tries to like shove people out. This is crazy. I didn't know this is what went on.
The ownership into selling to their group is an unfair practice.
What's interesting about this is Save Casa Bonita had provided no proof of funds, which makes sense as a fundraising page, which was quite of the money they claimed to have.
Ooh. You're not even close. You're just offering money that doesn't exist. And the thing is, with this kind of money, you have to have proof of funding. You have to have proof that you're able to put up the money to purchase the restaurant. You have to prove it.
Officially owned the restaurant as of December 19th, 2021.
Yep.
Trey rarely shows emotion, but even he couldn't contain his excitement, grinning with glee from the announcement that their childhood hangout he now officially owns, which must have been a very proud moment for the pair. With Parker even stating,
Right.
I want to buy Casa Bonita and treat it right. I feel like it was neglected even before the pandemic.
It was. It was very neglected. The reputation of the food alone is tantamount to proving this. Not only that, but then you've also got, like, it wasn't very well maintained.
Casa Bonita. Before the episode of Casa Bonita began development, Trey called the owner of Casa Bonita and asked if they could use the name and likeness in their show, with the owner being hesitant that South Park was going to insult or demoralize the restaurant, with Parker quoting,
"Oh, you're gonna rip on Casa Bonita?" It's like, how can we rip on Casa Bonita? It's like, that was your dream as a kid to go to Casa Bonita for your birthday.
Casa Bonita let us use their
Yeah.
episode, which makes them even cooler.
From South Park's impact to the show, it's brought a whole new influx of fans to the restaurant, even having a seating area now being referred to as the Cartman table.
Yes, they do. And I know this because we've sat there. Okay? We've sat there. You could request it for your like birthday party or whatever. I've been there. Like it's part of their marketing.
That is correct.
And hidden South Park characters scattered around the restaurant, such as Cartman hid on top of the cliff and a Kyle in jail. Clearly, the show had a big impact on fans, and it's seen a big boost in visitors since the episode aired.
South Park hurt or helped drive business?
South Park definitely helped business.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when it re-airs, we see a ton of business every time.
Why Matt and Trey saved Casa
Yep.
Bonita? It's no secret the South Park creators are insanely rich and even featured in Forbes' richest list, with them striking a $950 million Viacom deal to make South Park up until season 30 with 14 TV movies. This new venture, the IndieWire reports, is a great way to diversify the pair's portfolio and a way to use money for a good cause. In a time when so many people are struggling, especially in
Oops.
food service. We've been rich for a long time. We have nice houses and cars. Even this giant deal won't change my day-to-day. I'm not going to buy a new watch. We use the proceeds from this to invest. It will definitely be an interesting visit for Trey Parker on opening night. As Trey once mentioned, he had a private party for Book of Mormon there and wasn't allowed to do the cliff dive.
No, you can't do it. You have to own the place. Trey's gonna belly flop off that thing.
Apparently, the Frey also had a private party there and was the inspiration for the song You Found Me, when the lead singer got lost in Black Park Cave. Oh, look at that, you found me, you found me. I don't know why I made it more British than me. The South Park creators have expressed they don't want to change the theme.
Oh my god, that edit was great.
Driving gorillas will remain.
A saying I'm guessing he's had to say a lot in Power.
All the two guys in gorilla suits running around.
The restaurant was even rumored to be South Park themed. I believe it will have South Park elements, and people may be in luck, as the blueprints show a section called Cartman's. And I can imagine a gift shop having some sort of South Park memorabilia.
And why not? It doesn't matter if you can buy South Park stuff at Casa Bonita. Casa Bonita would still be the people mediating that sale, and thereby making some of that money as well, thus funding Casa Bonita to stay there, thus saving Casa Bonita from having to shut its doors.
Fresh because of an article recently posted about custom South Park license plates being auctioned at the restaurant. The nightmare renovations of Casa Bonita. When Trey and Matt agreed to purchasing the restaurant, they had no clue what they were getting themselves into and how costly.
Like I said, it's been poorly maintained. Poorly maintained. And I'm being generous.
Would be renovating the restaurant from the price they initially paid.
Wait. I didn't notice this before. Hold on. The Lakewood Historical Society. So they made Casa Bonita a historical site. So restoration is far more expensive. So that's why it hasn't been well maintained, is because maintaining a historical site is extremely expensive to do correctly, but it's a fucking restaurant. You have to maintain a specific level of standard in order to have business, because if you don't, you're going to be in violation of health codes, and they're going to shut you down. This actually makes it very, very difficult and very, very expensive to make Casa Bonita remotely successful. It's cool that it's a historical land site, but this makes it incredibly difficult to actually take care of correctly. I thought it was just like a local thing that we used it as a landmark. I didn't realize that it was actually like an official historical land site.
$3 million to buy Casa Bonita last year. Well, they told concertgoers they're now looking at paying another $15 million just for so-called back of the house.
Parker even states, have you ever seen Kitchen Nightmares? It's the very worst one of those you could ever possibly imagine. What we thought would be, oh, this will be cool. We can buy this and hope it will be around again. Turn into, oh, this is going to be what we have to put all our money into and hope that it works. With him even leaving out the most gritty work, which has
been done
2 days scraping dead rats and pigeons off of the enormous roof. At this, they're also dealing with some sewage problems and carpets so brown they look like dirt floors. It's carpet. Holy shit!
Yeah, like I said, they have not been maintaining that restaurant. It's terrible. That was why we never really went. Like my family and I, like my parents and siblings, like we hardly ever went there. We went there a few times. I only went there a handful of times. This is why. The dead rats and pigeons on the roof, all this shit with the floors, the sewage. It's not maintained and taken care of well enough for you to be in there and feel like it's a good place to be, to eat food. The fact that they are having to renovate the whole thing is good and bad, because it's what the restaurant needs. But once again, insanely expensive beyond what it should cost, because it's a historical landmark.
Matt and Trey were so overwhelmed that Matt even said we should bail. Previous owners
Hey, Jim, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it.
Some of the family restaurants couldn't be reached for comment. Maybe Carmen locked them in the bomb shelter. Parker and Stone asked the judge to help them keep some documents like permits, applications, and building plans from being released to the public. And with all things I've just listed, I don't blame them. What the future holds for Casa Bonita. Casa Bonita, since the deal, has been a full-blown construction site.
But making some major renovations
What?
to kitchens, bathrooms, dive pool.
With the Denver Post quoting, it has a crew of 80 people daily trying to remedy the building, which Stone and Parker said have been severely neglected. We're talking about just health and safety stuff.
Yep.
So someone won't die. We are going to do everything we can. We want to make it right and make it amazing. With one of the biggest changes being the food,
Yep.
which has been classed by many as revolting.
You know it's bad when I took my daughter when she was 4 and she was like, oh.
The new appointed chef for the restaurant, Dan Rodriguez, couldn't believe when she got the call.
When they told me about to be the chef there, I'm like, yeah, sure, that was a joke.
Rodriguez will oversee the kitchen, says we will improve everything but change nothing. Casa Bonita means so much to many people here in Denver.
Yeah, like the restaurant ideas that they had coming out of the kitchen were fine. Like, that was perfectly fine. The menu was great. The problem was making it actually good. It's so bad. I'm not interested in buying graphics for Twitch. Like, I'm not at all interested.
Denver. I'm excited to work with Trey and Matt. Parker and Stone say quality of the food will be a top priority, but this may inspire the pair to renovate other restaurants in the future, such as Cartman's House. I mean Coney Island, which inspired Cartman's House in the show. As Stone did say, I told Liz Claypool a premise about the hot dog, and he flipped out. He was like, you have to buy the hot dog. We don't have any money left over. It's all going into Casa Bonita.
Yeah.
I would love to buy the hot dog and put it in the parking lot of Casa Bonita. I think that would be amazing. Anyone else that wants
Oh,
to
man.
made it, because this is going to cost so much, and it's really dumb, said Parker. We absolutely should bail and stop spending money, but we're committed now.
Yeah, and that's true. We did lose the Coney Island hot dog in the mountains. It's gone. It's not there anymore. It was so great. That was next, like, we would stop at the Coney Island hot dog on our way to, like, my favorite place to hike as a kid.
12 mil on renovations, 550 wanted for hire, and 15 mil just for back of house. No surprise, only Trey and Matt could pull this off. And with the new head chef Dana responding,
What do you see different? What are you going to look to put into that?
Easy way to describe that is going to be real food.
it seems like this has all the right
Yeah.
ingredients to be the perfect resurrection for Casa Bonita the fans had hoped for.
I hope that they can just make this place better than it already is. I mean, it's already an amazing restaurant, but, you know, the employees here are the lifeblood of Casa Bonita, and we hope that can continue.
And it looks like it's...
Like, what that person that was talking was saying is absolutely true. The employees at Casa Bonita are the ones who create the good lord, if I could word today. But the employees are what create the whole ambiance of the atmosphere that you're in. And without them, Casa Bonita would have been absolutely nothing because, like she said, we're going to make real food. Like, their food tasted like a TV dinner at best.
It's almost ready, considering Trey Parker was recently spotted there with his family. Very exciting for South Park fans and lovers of Casa Bonita.
I think everyone knows the potential of what that place can be, and we certainly do, and I think it's going to be an awesome place.
Welcome again to my 300th visit to Casa Bonita. This is the 300th meal right here.
Like, what the hell was this guy really going to do to make Casa Bonita better? What did he think he was going to do? Did this fool think that he was going to, like, rebuild the building and make it good? Or did he just think, oh, just keep it running how it's running? Like, come on. What an idiot. That was a good video. That was a good video, though. But, anyways, I'm happy with that. That was great. I hope it works out because they're actually going through fixing the problems of the restaurant as a restaurant. And like I said, they're also going to be paying the employees a livable wage, like a living wage, essentially. So if you go to Casa Bonita, I've seen things that say that they are banning tips. I understand people being like, no, you shouldn't be tipping because XYZ reasons. The thing is, I think banning tips is counterproductive and that you should allow tips. There it is. It'll work out today without me messing with things. Anyways, you should allow tips in a restaurant. And if you're going to pay a livable wage or a living wage like they're doing, just put it on the receipt. Like, our staff is paid well. However, is paid well and your tip is unnecessary. However, we do appreciate gestures for excellent service. That way people are still able to tip, rewarding excellent service, meaning that the people who are interested in going above and beyond for your job and your business are able to get extra money. They're able to do even better than they would, even with you paying them correctly. Therefore, you're going to have employees that do better than others just because of that, which is what it is. Good or bad. It just is what it is. And at the end of the day, the ones who are making that money and putting in the extra effort are going to be adding to the ambiance and the atmosphere of the restaurant, bringing in more people. Because that's what always made Casa Bonita what it was. You should just let them lean into it. And it'll work. That's true for any restaurant. Let them do the job the way that, to the best of their ability, and pay them well, but allow them to still get tips if people feel the desire to tip them even with a good pay. Don't ban tips. Then all you're doing is taking potential earnings from your employees. So you're making sure the employees are paid money on one end, but you're also restricting their income on the other. It's contradictory action. I just don't understand why people think it's a good idea to restrict their income instead of allowing them to make income both ways. It just never once made sense to me.